Now, we'll talk about some real stuff right now. Let's talk about the touchy topic that we're kind of confused about, or we just don't have a right understanding about it, or just we don't get it for ourselves when we think to ourselves. So, Dad, now we need to know everything is just transitions and a part of life. Cycle. What's a cycle? It's going to come back and go, come back and go. So let's not think of the word death as what's been, shown to us. We got all general consensus that death is something to do with somebody closing their eyes, dying, and it's black. That ain't really it though. Because we got to understand death is tied to a certain portion that we experience all the time on a very, sectioned off time. Like when we're going through the season from like December through February, that's like all death months. That's from basically when we're not getting as much daytime, depending on where you are, but usually, you don't get that much daytime during this death period. So you can tie this to, okay, you see nothing but black. But while we don't get this daytime longer, and it's very short, you can look at this like, okay, we're very, very cold, or we're very, very distant, and we can only not come up with new bursts. We can't come up with new ideas. It's only what's there, what's already been there, and we gotta just use what we got. That's pretty much those portions, and that's what I'm trying to explain. You can kind of see it like now, but let's just talk about on a broader scale of just life, like life, then you have a birth of an idea, then you have the death of it. Okay, so let's just talk about the death of it. Okay, so let's just say where you at right now is the death of everything, because the true definition of death is just seeing something die out, seeing something wither away, seeing something go through it, and then you can't give no newness to it. This is why we say, oh, that situation is dead. That person, is dead to me. As in, it's dead, as in it's a cold, distant part that has happened, that has, y'all, it once was a birth, but it's solid in time now, and you can't revive it. The only thing you can do is go back to the memory of it, but you can't do nothing more than that. Oh shit. You can't do nothing more than that. So, so we can see now. Not even try, you can see it now. Go to a entertainment show. You gotta understand that's not a new life or a new excitement. That's technically when what you're seeing, not what you're feeling, what you're seeing is the death plan, the ending stages of whatever was first maybe thought about or felt, which is before death, which is before seeing something wither away, seeing the situation wither away, seeing the conversation go out, seeing that everybody has to use physically whatever is here to pretty much see the end of something. So you can see it with TV shows, entertainment. You can even see it with a business thing. Everything has the death of it, because you're seeing anytime you see it here, always remember, it might look like it's life because I see life in it, but you gotta remember, always go back to the you, go back to Uriel, go back to the essence. Okay, what's giving it life? It ain't the fact that, I'm just here giving it life. No, you're constantly thinking about stuff. So you think, and therefore you go and do, pretty much. Shout out to Flight Boss. But, so, we need to know anything you see is death. Anything down here, death. And remember, it's just a transition, as in what is dead can be used for birth, As in, you can use whatever you knew from before to not keep it with you, but just to, okay, I know where I come from. So I know what ideas I need to, or what life, what birth I need to actually, go into. What newness of a part that I need to move into. Because that state, that part, that where I wasn't right, So man, shout out to Starbucks, but she fucked up my goddamn. I did not ask for no goddamn caramel crunch. I said, never mind. What up? So, nutshell, the death of anything is you seeing it with your two eyes and playing out. So every conversation is technically what you're seeing from that person, not what you feel, what you're thinking, not that. That's like life. What you seeing literally happen. A conversation, you exchanging a conversation, they coming back. You're gonna see the death of it, the end of it, the fact that you can't really go back and pick up that exact physical memory and go to it. It's death. It's done. Finito. So always remember, don't be afraid of death because you're in it. You're in death. It's up to you to give yourself life, which is your ability to spark imagination, which simply just means your ability to always feel like you have some type of purpose to do no matter what. So that's your life. That's your being able to think, mindfulness, intuition, all of that is beyond this. This is just what look, this right here is just, it's almost like somebody first had, they were thinking about something and they kept going over and over about these thoughts. And so they started feeling a certain way about it, and that connected them to their thoughts. And so if you keep doing this, you're going to start seeing small situations play out of what you're kind of thinking about. So now the thinking part, this is more of a Uriel aspect, more of the you, more of what you can do. But when you're done doing all that and you're actually seeing the fact that your dream is coming into fruition, coming into death, so you can see it play out and you're going to see it wither away, and it's up to you to spark new life to have something new come to your tenacious. And that's what it is. Just all a cycle, constant cycle, constant cycle. Just always need to tie it to the small things of death that you see right now. Because this is all it's going to be. Your death is just going to be you going away like a spaceship. How it separates you when it's going into space. You got to lighten your load, and then everything else travels into space so where you can make another awareness. Because you'll never actually die. This dies just like that situation died. But what made that situation happen? The fact that we can think, have another mind, be in two different states of mind, but somehow we can maybe come up with a new, or just a basic whatever it is, whatever's happening. I'm just tying the conversation, but yeah. It's all about whatever you see is dead already, pretty much. We giving it life. By thinking, by feeling, by being emotional, by getting turbulent, all that is not actually your body. It's you. And if that wasn't true, then why we got depressed people that just sit in the house all the time and just become fat? Because they don't have no life, no imagination. So they're just stuck in death. They're stuck in what they see, what they can do about what they can see. Or they're sitting here giving all these thoughts to what they can see. So, I could have did this yesterday. I could have had this person, that situation didn't play. Anytime you start tying your mind too much to here, you're just not going to do nothing but become just not moving nowhere. You're going to be like waiting for something. Anytime you're waiting, you're just complacent. So that means you're just going to get knocked off just by universal, law. Because everything cycles, even if it's slower than others. Anyway, I'm done rambling. So yeah, it's a different. I hope you understood. You know what I'm saying? Message from the goddamn person that created itself. So yeah.